Recording in progress. Very good.
Hello and welcome.
Thank you. You too,
Here we are.
welcome. And whoever else is gonna watch this, welcome.
Okay, let's start over. Let's start over. Let's start over. I feel nervous today. I don't know why.
That's okay. We'll cut this all out. No, we won't.
Yeah,
This
we
is good.
will. We will cut it out.
All
So
right.
here we are again, week 2 of sounding board with Sophia and Christoph. How are you, Christoph?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. Let's start right away. I actually have a screen share. I wrote an agenda for today's meeting so we kind of
Bam.
stay on track.
This is awesome.
Can you
Sophia.
can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So let's start today with basically an update from last week, what we
hmm
discussed last week. Not what we discussed, but like any updates from last week.
Like what happened since?
Yeah, what happened since?
hmm
And you had asked me a question in last sounding board about delivery mechanism. I did some research
Oh,
in
great.
beehiiv, so
Yeah.
I'll share that.
hmm
Then we'll see if you want to do something with that information, but what your email marketing needs are as of now. And I'm happy to do a beehiiv live setup, or we'll see how the conversation goes. And then we'll wrap up with what's happening next. I don't know what's happening next, but if there's something happening next week, we can share that and how people can join this call.
Great.
So
So what's your update?
my update is that I finally launched my newsletter. First edition went out on Wednesday,
Awesome.
and I've already started working on the second issue, not issue, edition that comes out this Wednesday. And it's definitely a lot of work. I'm finding it's different from writing just an article and sending out one article every week. That's what I used to do. And now I have several different segments. So I'm finding that it's fun. It's fun for me because I get to explore things outside of just solopreneurship. But even within solopreneurship topic, like I was researching different tools that solopreneurs can use. And it's really fascinating. I really enjoy tools. So yeah, that's new. What about you?
Well, first of all, congrats for launching this newsletter. That's amazing. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, what's new in my world? Well, I had some inspired action hit me to create a challenge. I learned how to run challenges
Hmm.
a couple of years back from Pedro Adeo, and I really loved it. I've conducted a couple so far, one 3-day, one 18-day, and now I created a 5-day one for my current business. And as you know, because I had sponsored your newsletter, and I
Yes.
wanted to, and your newsletter targets solopreneurs, so I wanted to create an offer that's amazing for solopreneurs. So my challenge that I came up with is a 5-day nest egg challenge where
Yes.
solopreneurs can learn how to create or build further their retirement fund.
Super awesome. I'm super excited about that one.
Yeah,
As a solopreneur myself, I think this is, there's not like the employees have the 401ks and they have other things for
yeah.
their retirement. But as solopreneurs running our own businesses, we need to take care of our own retirement. And I don't see content or resources out there very easily
Hmm.
be found, specifically for people who are self-employed or have a side hustle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
So
going to be
this
5 days.
is 5 days exactly. We'll talk about different parts of the process. First of all, what is a realistic goal? What we have to do, what a solopreneur would have to do to get there. And then like the nitty-gritty of it. So like what kind of account are we using? What do we invest in so that the money is, is going to grow with a
Yeah.
very, very good likelihood? What is low fee? What is low maintenance? All of that
Yeah.
we'll discuss in like step by step. And it's not supposed to be any kind of infotainment, yet another source of information. I designed it in a way so that people who participate will really get results.
They can
Will
take
really
action,
They have
basically.
to take action during the challenge, or they can. They don't. Nobody's going to force them. But
Yeah.
um, if somebody is a solopreneur, and I suppose they are very action driven, action oriented anyway. So if they take time to participate in that challenge, then would highly encourage and even expect for people to actually take action and
Yeah.
implement either the whole thing or pick out what they like from it and implement what they like so that they get one step closer to their retirement goals.
Love it. Super excited.
Yep.
What's the link for it?
The link is nesteggchallenge.com. Of course, I
Awesome.
needed to buy a new domain because I love doing that.
That's the bane of being a solopreneur. Like,
Every
how
new
many
idea gets a
domains?
domain.
If you're watching this, tell me in the comments how many domains do you have of ideas that you think you want to implement down the road, or just different names for your business. I didn't do too many of those domains, but I ended up now after so many years
Yeah, they
have
add up.
Reflection Pond and Queen of Visualization and Visual Journeys with Sophia and SophiaNotes.com, SophiaOja.com.
Some of which are still in use.
Yes,
So,
all
yeah.
of them are in use. All of these are. That's one good thing that
Oh, all of these are,
if
yeah.
I'm convinced that I'm not using this domain, I'm very quick to let
You
go.
let it expire. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I'm super excited about my Australia trip.
Yay.
It's happening in 2 weeks. So, yay.
I'm excited for you.
Yes. Western North
Yes.
Carolina. Here I come.
Very
Uh,
good. Yeah.
yeah, also I wanted to, on a personal note, update that this weekend we both watched Dark Waters, the movie with Anne Hathaway and
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. Amazing. A great performance there. And yeah, it was kind of a eye-opening experience. So that's why I'm wearing my glasses today, because no more contacts. Contacts are
Because
the ones that I have been using have been toxic, have a high level of fluorine in it, which is highly toxic. And contact lens.
in combination with carbon chain, right? The
I don't
These
know the technical.
microplastics or PFAS, right? Is the
Yeah. Well, this one is specifically they tested for fluorine in contact lenses in this
okay.
study. And yeah, that is part of the PFOAs, which is highly toxic. And there are like thousands of chemicals that are in the umbrella PFOAs. But you'll hear all about that in the newsletter on Wednesday. A
Okay.
few pieces of research. So lots of things are now out of the house, like making some changes on getting a bit more toxic-free environment in the house.
Detox. Very good.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
that's why glasses.
The movies, film in general is just a really great medium to
Yeah.
to convey messages in the form of stories.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all heard about microplastics and things like that. Like there are all these things in news, but then to make it actionable and like make changes in our own lives, it for me really happens when I hear a compelling story, and then I'm
Yeah.
convinced
Yeah,
that
when
that
I read the synopsis of this movie, Dark Waters, I first thought, oh yeah, it's another Aaron Brockovich movie. And thought,
Mhm.
I loved that movie. So it's a great movie.
But you thought it
For
was a
me, it
similar
didn't
plot.
have any impact, for my own life. because I don't live in that area that Aaron Brockovich was playing in. But this Dark Waters is basically the whole world is affected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
up close and personal. And I think what was really shocking was not that, okay, modern life has the byproduct of toxic toxins in the environment. We use energy and we use technology, and all those things have byproducts, which are kind of something that we know about. But uh, what the movie conveyed to me, kind of my naive self, that companies have been doing this knowingly
Mm.
for decades, not just
Mhm.
like, oh, we're still figuring it out. Last year we found out, but it's been going on for decades. And that was a little bit saddening. So I think the thing is to learn from these movies, but not to get depressed out of it, but
Yeah,
just
that's
to
important.
take action
Yeah,
and make things a little better.
yeah.
So moving on, let me share with you anything else you want to share from last week.
Well, I think that was the biggest
The challenge.
mover, the
Yeah.
biggest change is to create that challenge. And I had some one-to-one client work. I'm very grateful for having another client, and there was a quite a bit of delivery work to do, research, presentation. Thank you also for helping me with that. With
Yes. No, it
You're
was very
amazing.
interesting because
You're such a great coach, Sophia. Thank you. So
yeah, coaching my husband is not always easy.
no,
You're more and more you're becoming coachable, and I think
yeah, big
not in the
ahill.
content, but just presentation. Like you
Yeah,
in subject matter of investments and portfolio management, like you are obviously the expert authority on that. But in terms of presentation and communication, maybe a
yeah,
little bit have something to add.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting to watch and to learn also like the investment management, like without giving away too much detail, just like things that we need to think about as we think about retirement and making more of our money,
Hmm.
hard-earned money, and invest it in a way that builds wealth
Yeah,
and not just leave it sitting around without a purpose.
yeah, and it's important to not just come up with like, oh, today, let's invest in this stock or in this ETF or
Mm.
in this CD or something. No, it's more important to come up with a system that you just run through a process monthly or quarterly. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes monthly. Maybe every half year you can spend a little more time on it to just review things. But basically, you
What
set
would
up.
you,
Hmm?
yeah, what would you say is one of the biggest things solopreneur or just everyday people like families miss out on when doing their investing, like generally speaking?
A generalization. To be honest, I don't really have. I've seen a bunch
Or
of clients.
what would you say one or two things that people should consider when it comes to building long-term wealth?
What people should consider is to have a long-term strategy that is simple enough to be implemented by themselves, ideally.
Yeah.
That they can sit out long term, even because things come up, life happens. So maybe the strategy will need to be interrupted or paused, but it's got to be there and be
For example,
implementable for the long term and be simple in that term. Like, for example, the simplest version of my model retirement portfolio that I recommend to people is a two fund portfolio. Is so it can be very easily implemented, and if money needs to be accessed,
mhm.
that's an important point. Is basically to know that yeah, there are all these great tax deferred account types that the IRS has given us, but they always come at a price of not being accessible
Hmm.
without a penalty at least. And so you got to
Just
find a
locked in for
balance of
several
things
decades.
that you can invest in long term and just stick with it and ideally never touch until you're at retirement age, with like regular non-tax advantage, so-called taxable investment accounts that you can at any time access, and but they
Mhm.
can still grow and help you compound your money.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hope that makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, I was just curious because there is like, so many things to be done. And I was just wondering, like, if you had one or two tips of what people miss out on, or if they had done 20 years ago, is it too late? Like, I guess they can still do things now, right? So I don't know. This is just spontaneous.
Yeah, I think for me,
Thought.
I think the most important thing is to deliberately think about it and create oneself a system that one can work for the long term
Yeah.
and not try to hide anything, from oneself. Like face your bills, face your investments, face your bank accounts, and just
Mhm.
keep track of them. And
Yeah.
since that always takes time and nobody wants to do it, keep it as simple as you can, so
Yeah.
so that you can live your life
Yeah.
outside the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I love that. Do things outside the spreadsheet.
Yeah. So
Awesome. Okay.
yeah,
So sorry for putting you on the spot there, but that was just spontaneous
go ahead.
question.
That's all right.
Um, okay, so I was thinking to share with you a little bit about your question. So last week you
Yeah.
asked me about beehiiv and
Yeah.
what does their paywall include. So I actually set this up for myself, and in essence, beehiiv, here's kind of some notes here, um, allows you to sell premium content in the form of premium subscriptions. So of course, beehiiv is designed to have your free newsletter, and then you can upgrade to premium content. Let's say you have a Wednesday newsletter that's free, but then people want to upgrade to a Saturday special content newsletter just for your premium subscribers. So that's how it's kind of designed for. But you can work around it and offer other content. For example, I am offering the Zen Business Club. And actually, I don't know if maybe I'll do a screen share also of that. So the Zen Business Club is a premium subscription that people can sign up to. And let's see. When they go there, it looks like this. So this is the paywall, essentially, what it looks like on beehiiv.
Mhm.
You can have monthly, annual, you can have monthly and annual. I chose to go with just the annual version. And instead of a premium newsletter, what my premium members get is basically access to the Zen Business Club for 12 months, where they can join these sounding board sessions, ask questions, and get specific answers for their questions on building an online business. Not necessarily financial investment, which is your niche, which is your area, because
Yeah.
that's not what this is about. It's more about building your online business. And if they can't join live, they can send their questions via email.
And get
So this is,
recordings and things like that, right?
yeah, and get recordings. So for your question, this is something you could use on beehiiv, where you have a premium membership for your portfolio, and the delivery of the deliverables in this premium membership would be with something else, like
Yeah.
you're sending a spreadsheet link, so that can be sent via email. If you're inviting people to Zoom, that can be sent via email, or you have something on your Squarespace website, password protected, things like that.
So, but within the beehiiv system, you can specify like only send to premium. subscribers. So if you had
Yeah.
if you had your premium content in email form, then you could do everything in Beehive, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. If it was
Okay.
an email form, you can do everything in beehiiv.
Can you lock pages? Like, can you just like in, let's say in Squarespace, I can lock pages just
Mm-hmm.
behind a password. Is
Yeah.
that possible? Like from the on the
So
website side of Beehive, is it possible to lock things behind a
so that
paywall or
is
behind a password?
you know what? That's not possible. However, there may be something else where premium content can be on the Beehive website, and you would just have like a header saying this is premium content. To access it, upgrade, and then whoever is the premium subscriber can log in to access it. Let me see if I remember an example. I think I may have seen this on Ben's Bites, but they have a pro content. So this is another newsletter for curated AI news, and they have their free daily digest. But then they also have Ben's Bites Pro, which I have not signed up to, right? I'm not a member. So here it says it's locked and it shows up at different posts. So I
So
click
it's
on
also
it.
posts,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
exactly. And then each
Mhm.
piece of content, you could have like one single post with all the content, or you can
Yeah.
have each piece of thing as a post. And then here it says, hey, this is Ben, this is subscriber only issue. If you're not a subscriber, here's what you have missed recently. Subscribe to a pro. And basically,
I love how that bar goes from left to right
yeah,
or as you scroll down. Sorry.
yeah. And then it's basically a little, intro of what this content is. And if you want to read more, you upgrade.
Okay.
So that would be one workaround for your portfolio content.
I
I don't
think
know.
I could work with that. That can, for my purposes, work. Yeah.
Yeah, and it will look
Mm.
like this on the main page. You have category, so
Hmm.
quick bites, daily digest, and this would be like your model portfolio. You
I
click on
would
it.
basically have two categories. One is my regular newsletter,
Yeah,
ETF nerd newsletter, and the other one would be the model portfolio subscription.
exactly. And each element of your model portfolio deliverable could be a
A
post.
post.
And
Yeah.
that way you can even tell people, like when I look at this all pro posts, I can see all the content that I don't have access to. And it
Oh,
and it
that's
makes it
mm,
interesting to say, oh, actually, I want to learn how to use
right.
AI for my team, or I want to know how to build a company.
I actually love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would have, right now I have three categories or three portfolios in my subscription. So
mhm,
like Serenity portfolio, Serenity Light, and Simple Serenity.
mhm,
I think so. No, Serene Simplicity is the third
mhm.
one. So all of these, yeah, these would show them as headings, so to speak, right? And maybe with
Are
a
these
little,
three different levels, or is this all included in that one
all included in the one. Like
premium?
people get,
Oh, okay, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. If there were, and that's another thing I do want to find out is actually you can do that right now. Whether Beehive has um in their premium thing different levels, how many different levels is possible?
Oh,
Um,
not just that's generally possible. But I would only need one.
you would only need one. Okay, then we don't need to look that up right now. I can do the research on my own. But so far I know that you can have a monthly. So instead of just a one thing, um, so when I click on subscribe to Pro, oh, he also has only one. Okay. But if I subscribe to Ben's Bites, let's say I subscribe to it, and if you see on the screen, Christoph, right now, I want to show you something, what happens.
Yeah.
So I subscribe to Ben's Bites, and then it gives me an option to sign up to other newsletters, which is also very cool. And I
Hmm.
think it then gives me option to upgrade if I don't remember. Oh no, it's changed. Okay, it's gone to somewhere else. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I will research that whether just from my own knowledge and maybe for a tutorial, like how many premium levels is possible. But for your purpose, yeah, you could do something like we just talked about here. Medium, light, portfolio light, medium, and what was the third one?
Simple,
Okay.
serene simplicity.
Serene simplicity. Okay. Yeah. So does that work for you?
Yeah, I like that. Can we set that up? Like, could you, last time we talked, I don't know whether that was recorded or not, but what I would like is a kind of a little guidance on how to set up this Beehive account because I don't have one yet.
Yeah, so what I can do is basically set it up for you, and we can do that live right now.
Okay.
And if there's any confidential stuff like credit card information, stuff that I can cut it out
Okay.
and edit. Otherwise, we'll keep it raw. But before we do that, I would love to know what exactly do you want from Beehive? Like, what is your marketing? Yeah, what
Yeah.
exactly? So right now you're on ConvertKit, correct?
Right now I'm on ConvertKit, yes, and I'm on the free plan because I'm in the beginning right now, and what that free plan at ConvertKit doesn't allow me to do is automations and things like sending a welcome email
Yeah.
automatically. So that's why I'm feel like, and you've told me that Beehive can do that. Like already in the free
Yep.
plan, allow for um, they allow for automations and right and here.
Yeah, they have custom website, custom newsletters, campaign analytics, unlimited email sends.
Oh wait, look, they have email automations in the scale though only.
Oh, yes. Okay. That makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to
And they
wait
have
then, or you still want to explore it?
this the premium service, the premium email, is that already? Where is that? Is that in the
That
launch or in the
would
scale
be,
plan?
um, it doesn't say here, does it? Premium. Create segments. You can create segments. Premium subscriptions is in the
Ah,
scale.
is
Yeah.
also okay.
Yeah.
So for both of them, okay. So both of these functions that I would want are not included yet in that smaller plan.
Right.
So let me hold off right now on this
Okay.
and think about it again because yeah, yeah.
So your main attractive factor would be sending welcome email and basically automations
Yes, exactly.
or for welcome email or for lead
Yeah, yeah. Mostly for welcome email, I have one lead magnet that could be, that could be presented.
I believe the welcome email is inbuilt. Like anytime somebody subscribes, they get a welcome email.
Okay.
I believe it's in the launch as well. I wouldn't see why not. Specifically, it doesn't say here, but is that the only kind of thing right now for you?
Well, and that, and maybe, and to have that premium subscription to offer that. But
Yes.
right now I have it on Squarespace.
Mm-hmm.
Use their service. What is it called? Member areas. I've set it
Yeah.
up on there.
Right, right,
So
right.
right now it works what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I would use this as an optional alternative. But yeah, I
Okay.
don't think it's exactly what I need right now. I think I'll stick with what I'm doing right now,
Okay.
the platforms I'm using. So
Yeah. Okay. That's totally fine. Yeah, I researched that, yeah, these things are possible. And of course, they're not all in the free plan.
yeah. So I'll hold off until I've gained more traction, like until I've found out some a more viable way to gain subscribers. Like this sponsorship of your newsletter has so far been very good, like has worked. So that's something I'm gonna do
Yeah.
more of in general. As compared to like yeah, last time we talked about ad marketing
Yeah.
for getting people on my newsletter list. That so far hasn't gained any traction. And
Like Google Ads.
I,
Yeah.
I have Google Ads for the newsletter, which I'm placing the newsletter the ad to an article that I've written, so that the keywords is S&P 500 ETF. What's the best ETF for investing in the S&P 500? I have a great article about that,
Yeah.
and in that article, I invite people to sign up to my newsletter to get more
Mm,
best ETF format uh, information. But
yeah.
that hasn't so far gotten, like, it's gotten me views, clicks and views, but no conversions then to newsletter subscribers yet. While this, like, placing this challenge ad, the 5-day nest egg challenge, as an ad into your newsletter has gotten me a couple of subscribers. Not for the newsletter yet, but
Yeah.
for the challenge. So I think that kind of stepping stone is very valuable right now for people who don't know me yet. And
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
so I'll, yeah, basically I still have to figure out a better way to uh, invite people in my fold. And
So you're waiting for larger newsletter list before you want to move to a different platform? Is that what you're saying? Or
yeah,
what's the,
yeah, well,
yeah,
I'm not necessarily a larger list yet, but
yeah,
a more or less or a more reliable way of growing my list.
yeah,
Like it doesn't have to be 1,000 people yet, but when if I see like, oh, when I do this, then I gain 10 or 20 or 100
right.
subscribers a week or a month, and
Yeah.
that's repeatable,
Okay.
then I can dare to kind of expand my budget for a more suitable platform.
Okay. So basically your setup right now with ConvertKit and Squarespace suffices what you need. Having a
Yeah.
upgrade offer, you deliver it via Squarespace.
Hmm.
Also, the transaction happens on Squarespace,
Yeah.
and that's basically enough for now,
For
right?
now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the transaction happens on Squarespace. Basically, I'm not paying Squarespace any more than what I'm already paying them for hosting my website. In return,
Hmm.
they get a higher commission. I think it's 9% right now for any sale of the member areas, but it's only
Yeah.
when I do have a sale.
Right.
So there, I haven't bumped up my fixed costs. It's a
Mm.
variable cost.
Yeah.
And that's for me in this young stage, a better
Valuable.
solution, a less risky
Mm.
solution. And once I know a viable path, then I can do
Mm.
better forecasts and say like this is what it costs me to acquire a client. This is what it costs me, to the overhead and the
Right.
so then I can restructure. But right now I think this setup works in terms of showing people what I have on offer.
Yeah.
And now I have to find people who are interested in that, basically,
Yeah.
or a repeatable way to find
Right.
people that want to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you for taking that 180 with me here. Well,
Yeah, I was prepared to show everything I've learned. I think as we each learn about the tools and kind of we can help each other break the learning curve,
Yeah.
because it took me lots of hours. Even though Beehive is a very intuitive app, it was completely different from ConvertKit, which is what I was familiar with. And so lots of hours to find out how to do automation and how to do welcome email and where is this, where is that. It was, yeah, especially the last few days before the launch. It was hours
Mhm.
and hours of looking at tutorials and videos and step by steps. So
But
anytime you, yeah,
that's a very valuable process because I think you've told me that you've recorded basically every step on the way and you'll be putting
yeah.
out tutorial videos. Is that
I
right?
have 25 screencasts of different things that I was doing.
Good
And
on you, mate.
and so I will be making these, and they're small, so it could be like between like 2 minutes to 10 minutes long.
Mm.
So showing everything, like how to create an opt-in form, how to embed it on Squarespace, how to do kind of trigger automations. Like if somebody signs up to this form, give them this tag, and then send them this email.
Yeah.
It's fun. I love doing it. And
You love doing like making tutorials. Is that what you're saying right
yeah, I
now?
love making tutorials. I love figuring out a new app.
Mm.
I love like the newness of it. Like, oh, what's this and what's that?
Mhm.
Clicking here and clicking that, because there used to be a time where, maybe I was like, oh, I don't want to click there. I might mess things up. But I've overcome that and like, oh, let's click what happens here, what happens there.
Mhm.
And that experience is very, very, very fun for me. For some people, it's overwhelming and frustrating, but I like to. And actually, I made a video of my first 38 minutes of exploring Beehive,
Mhm.
where it's just me clicking around to figure out some things. And then at 38 minutes, 55 seconds, it was my cutoff. Like I couldn't figure out on my own. I had to go and get a video tutorial and check out some things to like break through and say, okay, now I'm stuck. I need some help.
That's pretty cool. You got that on YouTube already, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It came out on Saturday,
Cool.
I think.
Link it.
Sunday. Link it. It's just a previous video from this. Oh yeah, but whoever is watching may not
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I'll link it.
But what I wanted to mention is that this process we've gone through right now, where I thought I would want and need Beehive right away,
Yeah.
and now talking through it with you, exploring this with you, finding out that it's better for me right now to hold off on it. That's what I
Yeah.
love about these sounding board sessions because the
Yes.
talking about issues is just getting so much clarity.
Yeah. So much clarity because once you start moving things, migrating things, it's like a lot of moving pieces, and then
Yeah.
you have to keep track. Although you do get 3 months free using
Hmm.
my affiliate link, so you have no rush to kind of make a decision on making that change.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely moving from ConvertKit to Beehive. I just did that, and I also am in the process of moving things from Squarespace to the Beehive website.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that their website features will be expanded. I hope it gets. Basically, I want to create more design elements in Beehive, and have more pages that are
Hmm.
beyond just the blog.
Hmm.
But that's secondary. My goal is to get to 10,000 newsletter to 10,000 people on my newsletter. So if Beehive setup is going to make it that easy, I I'm fine with that.
Hmm.
Um,
Cool.
yeah.
We got, let's say, 5 more minutes, or is that right? Um, how long are we
Yeah.
doing this so far? Okay.
Yeah, let's cut off at 45. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything on your heart, something that you need to talk out and develop while thinking
Um,
out loud?
Basically, I I have a few things on my mind. Like one is I'm going to Australia and I need to have my newsletters written before I go. At least 3 of them, so I don't have, when I come back, I'm not like diving straight into creating it. So I want to have 3 newsletters done before March 25th, which is like 10 days.
May.
Oh, May. And the other thing is I want to figure out how to grow my newsletter. And maybe we can talk about that next week, some strategies that we've learned about social media growth, organic growth, find ways to grow the newsletter.
Let's do that. I'll note it down for next time. How to grow newsletter using social media, right? Or anything kind of.
Yeah, anything really, how to grow your newsletter. Or I think for me right now, organically is more important than ads, because I know I
So
haven't,
social
don't,
media, SEO, things like that.
yeah. And there are a few newsletter interviews with newsletter operators
Hmm.
on Spark Loops podcast, and then Growth in Reverse newsletter has some good features, and then the Creator Spotlight. So yeah, I'll do some research and jot down some ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Right.
Spark Loop
Send and grow.
podcast, we listened to one episode about a week ago or so, I think. Just the first 10 minutes were
Oh
full
yeah,
of full of content. Maybe we can talk about those
yeah.
3 steps that this newsletter pro has
Oh, that's a great idea.
done.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can talk about that.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for anything else on your mind before we jump off.
On my mind, pretty much the same thing. I want to grow my newsletter and um, present now that the challenge is coming up in June to obviously get more people to be part of that challenge. So,
Yes.
uh, but yeah, I think that's basically the key, how to be more visible and convert this visibility into leads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the next step, clients. But first of all, how to get more visible, how to convert this visibility into um, yeah,
Subscribers. Yeah, I think
subscribers.
that's a chain that makes sense. Like free content to email subscribers, and then clients and customers.
I wonder whether we have to think the other way around, whether we have to kind of reverse engineer it,
Mm-hmm.
where we would think this is what people get people into our newsletter. So like this is how people become subscribers. What what would make them subscribe, and then who would those people be that would want to subscribe, and then where do these people hang out? Basically, how do we find
Hmm.
them? Maybe um, something like that.
I think it's a good thinking cap there, because start with who are we trying to serve and where do they hang out, right?
Hmm. And what would be an attractive link for them? They see wherever they hang out about what we do, and then they say like, yes, I need to hear from Sophia, I need to hear from Christoph, so I'll sign up to their newsletter or whatever they offer, challenge or, you
Mm-hmm.
know, so
Yeah. Yeah, right now it feels a little bit overwhelming,
yeah,
but
let's think about that until next time
yeah,
and share ideas.
yeah. But it's possible. If others have done it, we can too.
Yep.
Always have to remind yourself that, because things in the, just starting something new, trying to grow something can very quickly become overwhelming and frustrating. But I want to pull myself away from that because I'm such a at a starting point, and encouragement and positive thoughts and reminding ourselves that others have done it.
Others have done it. We can do
We
too.
can do it. And it doesn't have to take 10, 15 years
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there are things we can do now. I was just reading that latest article from issue that I received from newsletteroperator.com, where he was talking about growing a newsletter within 4 months to 10,000 subscribers.
Hmm.
That would
Four
be,
months. Great.
yeah, 4 or 6 months, something like that, like
Mhm.
something really quick. Because I'm in the mindset that, oh, it will take like 5 years to build 10,000 subscribers.
Right.
But I gotta get out of that mindset and
Have
say,
the don't have the expectation that it would happen in 4 or 6 months. Basically, have the
mhm,
patience that it could
yeah,
take longer, but uh,
think differently.
entertain the possibility that it could happen fast.
And I
And
think it's important to think differently also because then if we think differently, we will take different types of actions.
yeah,
If I anticipate it to take 5 years, I will take less productive actions, perhaps.
yeah,
But if the goal is to make this in 6 months or 4 months or whatever that goal is, even if we don't hit the goal, we will have taken different kinds of steps
yeah,
and experimented more.
yeah.
So,
What comes to mind immediately, like a thought occurred that it we got to create the karma to have those results.
yeah,
So maybe we could talk about that next time too. About uh, what do we have to do karmically to
yes,
basically experience this fast growth of newsletter subscribers.
yeah. Can you put those points into the Notion
Yeah.
for next week since
Hmm.
you've taken such good notes today?
Okay.
Just
I will do that.
bullet points would be
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So this has been us sharing our journey, like nothing pre-designed, pre-crafted. Definitely for us a document for the future and maybe a tip or two that you may have benefited from. So thank you for being with us. And if you want to present your own question on your solopreneur journey and have us as your sounding board partners to give our 2 cents, join the Zen Business Club. SophiaNotes.com/ the Zen Business Club, I believe.
You'll put the link right in the under the video.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, actually, SophiaNotes.com/upgrade.
There you go. Even easier.
Um, and that gives you access to all the sounding board sessions for a whole year. We intend to do this every single week. If one of us is not doing it, then the other person is going to do it. So, um, at least me, I can promise that I will always be here doing one session a week, except for a few breaks in the year. So, yeah, thank you so much. And I'll see you next week for another Sounding Board Notes.
Bye-bye.
Australia. Kangaroo.
Yay. See ya.
Bye.